Generic greetings. That's really orange for some reason. I know it's an orangey type game because of the ground, but still, when you get that twilight hour, when it's going dark between sort of 7 and 8, looks quite orange. Either way, in the previous episode, we added a couple of things. We managed to finish off the nursery, and no prisoners are assigned to eat at this canteen. Don't know why. Oh, it's because nobody's in here, obviously. Yeah, we got this nursery and family cell section all put in, ready to receive more prisoners. Or when we do receive more prisoners, we'll be able to, put the mothers in there, because that's a massive issue. If you don't have the capacity, it's a real problem. We also added this row, this bit here, which is death row, which we do need to actually all connect up. And I'm going to run this electrical cable in the bottom from that side there, from the bottom of the canteen into there, because we do need to power it up with that one. We obviously are struggling a little bit when it comes to capacitor power, so we're going to add these in like so, and then we're going to add the bottom ones in there as well. The reason we're doing that is because I can go to foundation, building brick, and spend a boatload of money on this. And it's going to be our last big building work. There you go. So that all requires an entrance, and we do need to put in some entrance. We've just spent a lot of money. We've only got 15 grand left, as you can see. And this is going to be a, huge lump of building. It's going to be, in no particular order, our hull. I've got another OD over the bottom there, at least we know about it. It's Almond again! Jesus Christ, she's got a problem with drugs. She's OD'd twice now, in as many days. We've got a holding cell, a visitation, cell block, shower, laundry, and common room. So, big lump there, real big lump. So, we're still receiving some more prisoners. What I'm going to do is actually go to prisoners, intake rather, and turn off low risk intake. We want to receive medium risk because they pay more. And as you can see, money is not there. But we do have a grant that we can get, I believe. Yeah, we do. We got manufacturing facility and nutritional research. Manufacturing facility would give us 20 grand. Nutritional research doesn't give us any, but it does require us to mess around with the regime. Have a single low quantity, high variety meal over 2 days, and then there's some more stuff as well. 2 are hidden. I don't particularly want to get the manufacturing facility, but I think we've got a tunnel. Have we? Have we got a tunnel? Oh shit, that is a proper tunnel. Yep, that is an actual tunnel from there. Wow, okay, right, shakedown. We've had an escape. I knew we'd have an escape eventually, I just didn't think it'd be from there because we've been searching so long. We've had an escape, wow. Okay, that's the first escape we've had in one of these prisons, in one of my prisons for quite a number of alphas. It was bound to happen because of how close that is. It's only a little bit. There's only a little bit of cell, and then it's pretty much a straight shot under the earth, which is easy to dig. There's no fences and there's no perimeter wall, which is the main issue. Is why that's happened is because I don't have a perimeter wall. But we're gonna finish this shakedown. What I'm gonna do as well, go to staff and we'll hire 2 more staff. And yeah, that's an issue. But every cloud and all that, we can get another prisoner in. Well, hey. So we'll have to remove that tunnel, obviously. There we go. Looks like there's a lot of building putting in here now. We're going to put a lot of building in here. And now what's going to happen is we're going to bankrupt ourselves while we spend a lot of time putting lights in. But we're still searching. Looks like we have not got any other real problems in terms of tunnels. I think we're okay. Let me just go to our, where is it? Utilities and then connections. We do need to connect up them to there. There we go. Now we've got, sites in the classroom, the shop and things like that. And that also means that I can actually remove the people from there because we don't need it. We're going to do the same at the chapel and the library as well, but I will get on with that later on. Only one more place to search, so might as well just finish off. I don't know where it's going to search. There we go. So, interesting, yeah, tunnel all the way from there. Very, very well done. Well done, I guess. Let's go to our grading. We'll see how that has affected it. Prison grading, we've got 1 prisoner has escaped, 1 death in custody, which is the stabbing we had early on. The reoffending rate's down to 22%, so we haven't halved it because I think it was on 36%. So halving it, well, we're getting close to it, I guess. We're getting close to it. It would be quite good if we can get it to at least half. Punishment is quite high now. Reform is going up as well. Security as well. Everything's going up, which is good. So we are improving the prison dramatically. So that is a-okay. We have not yet got any doors put in here, so anyone can wander in now, but we've had no real issues, so I'm going to keep it as is. We do need, though, to start putting in these rooms up the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to our materials brick wall, and then run a brick wall right up the top. There we are. Obviously, this area is going to be our shower, and we need to brick that off at the back, like so. And then I believe it'll be that, and then that. I think what I'll do, I'll put that there. This should line up with the edge, which it does. That's fine. Okay, so that is our. That is going to be our shower for this cell block. That is going to be the common room. What I'll do, I will put a large steel door in at the other side. Is it? Yeah, it's the other side there. There. And then we need another door in. Hang on, spin it around and then just go up using the WSD keys, and then there you go. So we know that all of the doors are now in the right areas. 10 grand remaining, and we're going to receive a little bit more as it progresses. We need to have 10 prisoners pass the foundation education course, and 1 prisoner pass the general education course. Excuse me, today's beverage is a nice cup of tea. I just had a chocolate chip cookie for breakfast, so I've got a bit stuck in my throat. Right, so the reason I've got to have that for breakfast, by the way, is because I've got some leftover from Christmas, and I went, ooh, that'll do. Right, so we have some people in custody. Let's have a quick look from our intelligence and gangs, informants, potential CI. You can be a CI. Even though we don't really do anything with the CIs, because I don't think they're that useful. Actually, that's one thing as well that many people have mentioned, but I haven't fixed it. There we go. Need to redesignate that bit as kitchen, you see, and I didn't. So, speed up to max speed. Still receiving some prisoners. Obviously, a lot of things for the workmen to run around and get sorted. We need to check our utilities and make sure that will be okay. We need to run some electrical cable in and up like that. That'll power up this room. And then, same thing here. We just need to run in. And I don't know how far, but that should do us for now. And then we'll need to run it all the way around. We have not yet got any large piping in there. So what I'll do is I'll just copy our design. So we'll run that up to there. How far does it go? I think it goes all the way to the end. No, not all the way, but to there. And then we can run some piping in there as well. Alright, so that should be everything for the pipe work. For the large pipe, yes it is. The electrical cable we have not finished, but I can simply run it in like so, and that should, if we just run it in there and then in the back, and that's again copying our rough design down the bottom, which as you can see has actually got a couple of blocks that are not powered, but it doesn't matter because they've got no lights in it. Right, so if we're going to do this, we need to then expand. Ooh, that's problematic. I don't have a door in there. Oopsie. Let's put door in. So it's a large dual door like so, and it is in there, I believe. This one is going to be in there, and then that's all of them doors put in, and then the workmen are not stuck inside a room, which is, bonus, I guess. So let's have a quick look. We had a ding-a-ling noise there, and I want to check to see if intake. We now have death row. We can now put death row people in our prisons. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity to get some death row cells. So this is going to be our death row facility. We need to have a large jade door on the end, large shield door there. Oh, looks like we've had someone killed. I'm guessing snitch. Yeah, Sydney Robinson, sentenced to 22 years for aggravated burglary. Got a boyfriend, daughter, mother, and a father. Aggravated burglary, and now dead because she's a snitch. It's what when they came in. The problem is I don't have any protective custody cells, so I can't really put them anywhere. So It's a weird system that, obviously this is a game, obviously, if that wasn't clear, but with this prison and a couple of others as well, I generally just take the decision of, you know what, there's some acceptable losses in this, and just if say one in every 100 prisoners is a snitch, or even 2 or 3, and they get taken out, then you know what, it saves me all of the hassle of messing around with other stuff. It's a problem that fixes itself, and that's a really horrible thing to say. If, like you say, it is a game, so we can sort of forgive it that. But imagine if that was in real life. I don't know what would happen with that one. I don't know what if you're the governor or the warden of a prison, whatever, and you're aware that there's certain prisoners that have risks involved with them of their being in there, and you have a responsibility of care. You have to make sure that they are safe. What if you don't have the money? What would you do? Would that decision be made where it's, well, actually, we can't afford to do it, so we'll just let them risk it? Pretty scary when you think about it. Right, let's force open these doors, because we don't really need them shut. We've got 9 grand. I'm going to go over to this side here and then go to our cells and just designate that as cell. Actually, I'll designate 2 of them as cell. These bottom 2, actually. Get rid of them. There we go. And then we will cancel. We'll actually dismantle. That's a light. It's the door I want to dismantle. There we go. Dismantle. And then we want a jail door, like so. We want a bed. And then a toilet. And that's pretty much all I get. And, oh, this is not good. The CEO. The board has decided to experiment with a number of cost-saving measures across our facilities, and your prisoners being included. Ah, crap. We need you to reduce the meal quantity and meal variation policies in your prison to low so we can see what effects this has on overall budgets. Right, okay. This presents us with a bit of an opportunity, actually, because we currently don't have inmate nutritional research on the go. But we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, change the prisoner's meal variety and meal variation to low, and inmate nutritional researchers serve a single low quantity, low variety meal for 2 days. That is 94 hours, so double the amount that we really need. But is it what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do? Well, we're gonna have to change our. Okay, all right, let's try this. So regime single meals. It's saying. So what we'll do? We'll free time all of this stuff where it says eat. Free all that, right? Then we'll work this up. So we'll have work like so. Right, a lot of work in there. And then what we'll have is eat around this time here. Alright? Actually, we'll have eat there. 1, 2, 3, 4, eat 1. Yeah, that's fine. Then we'll have that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll free time it. So, our overall regime now, just to clarify, got a bit of sleep time up until 6 o'clock, then a shower time, 2 hours of free time, 4 hours of work, and then eat. The reason I've done that is because it means we can have all the prisoners work and make them, they'll make the food because they'll be working inside the kitchen. And then we have lockup like we normally do, and then work, and then free time. So that's okay. So that should hopefully get that inmate nutritional research done. Obviously, this cost-cutting bit, yeah, it's going to get iffy. It's going to get interesting. So, let us go to planning and then walls. And what I want to do is plan off the top and bottom. So this is a total of 3x3 inside, and this is a total of 2x3. So standard cells down the bottom. So let's measure that out. There we go. That's standard cells. 1, 2, 3. And that runs along and then down. And I don't know what the size of it, because there's a weird shape, isn't there? One of them is, this end one is a weird shape. It's that, isn't it? Something like that. Now, I know a lot of people have said what I could do. Why don't I just increase it like that? Because we do have this weird block, and actually, I tend to agree. I think we should actually increase it, because this has been annoying me for quite some time. So let's actually do that. There we are. So that's going to be that area there, and then we need the other side, which is going to be walls, and then we'll run it. It's pretty much that, I believe. And that one's cancelled off, and that bit, I don't know why is there. I think it's just a erroneous bit of wall that we planned. Now this, the reason I'm planning this is because one of the bottom bits is where we have, cancel. Is it that bit? Yes, that bit there is where we have our cleaning room. Now, the reason I've done all that is because I want to get the dormitory put in. The dormitory being actually pretty important. I think it's that. It is that. The reason I want to do that, rather than worry about the other side, what size is it? It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Okay, so the reason I want to do this is because I can get more prisoners. It's as simple as that. I can get more prisoners held in here than I can anywhere else. That's why I'm doing that. So, there's that rough plan. We need to put in, I guess before we do that, the shower, because otherwise we'll have a lot of problems. So, let's crack on with that. Looks like we've got power running pretty much everywhere, apart from the either side. So I'll run some electrical cable like that. This area hasn't got power as well, which is a little bit nice, so I'll run it a little bit like that as well. If that was one to the left, or a couple to the left, we'd fix that, but then we might have problems to the right. You know what, that'll do quite nicely. Right, that should power that up. Is that what I've got on that side? Something like that. Okay, we'll see how that one goes. And then we need, in this area, we need drains, like that. And then we need a crap load of shower heads. Boatload of shower heads. Doesn't cost anything really, these shower heads. I'll say that. We've spent a couple of grand now. There we are. Is that about right? It is about right. I should have also put some benches in here as well. But, I think that'll do us. There we go. Don't know why, but having benches in here seems to work. I think it comes from the alpha, or the trailer actually for Prison Architect, where you see them in the trailer. You know, if you want to have access to game-breaking bugs such as, you know, prisoners going to the shower and eating their meals. I think that was part of the trailer. Right. Anyway, death row. Make sure this is set to death row. Staff row only. We've got the outside. That's fine. These are all good. Looks like the CEO's calling. Since you've decided not to implement the new food policies, we've asked you for... we're going to take the potential savings directly from your funds. Ah, crap. Ah, I forgot something. Low and low. There we go. Forgot to do that. Okay. So, did that actually take it all? Yeah, right. So I've got a £5 fine because I forgot to do that. Damn it. That's a shame. I forgot to change this. I changed the policy. Oh, sorry, the regime, but I didn't change the policy. So single low quantity, low variety meal, and change the meal quantity and variation policies to low. So I've changed that now. That guy would. I'm pretty sure it said fine me until I fix it, which I've done now. So we're okay there. I've never done that. I've always implemented everything they say, and I knew that you could get fined for it. I just never seen it happen. Like, I was aware that one of the things that could happen if you don't implement what they say is that you just get fined. But that's good because you have choice. You can choose just to go, you know what? No, I'm going to do it this way. Piss off. You could happily tell them to do that. And, you know, there's nothing they can do about that. Oh, we got a workman stuck in there. Okay, let's just demolish that wall, shall we? And that'll be the dormitory added, well, expanded, I guess. So let's go to dormitory and we'll expand that. Can we add some more? I don't think we can add any more. Another one in there. We might be able to add another single cell, but you know what? I'm not really bothered. That'll be fine for now. So we haven't done a shakedown in a little bit. So I do want to do a shakedown. What I also want to do is run some small piping. Like that. And then down to there. That plumbs all that in. We have no death row prisoners yet. Let's have a quick look at our intake. Oh, right. We are going to receive death row in the next intake. Haha, good, because we do want to receive some. And we need to go to our execution. Hang on, where is it? Execution. Minimum size 5x5. We might get around this. Oh no, there isn't a minimum size. Requires electric chair 5 grand. And chairs. There we go. We now have an execution facility. Connected up. And that is all connected up as well. Okay. So, execution facility is set. We have this shower now sorted. Just go to that side. What if I've done the same here? Yes, I have. Okay. So we've still got a lot to do here. We haven't got any flooring put in around this area. Well, any area really, apart from the walkways, which is mandatory. We haven't got any grass put in here. We haven't got this expanded in the canteen. The kitchen is still, stuff to add. Security is an absolute joke. We don't have any automatic door openers. We've got this visitation to sort out. We've got this room here, which currently doesn't really do anything. But when it does do something, it's just going to be storage for more prisoners. Storage. Same thing, you know what I mean? Holding cell. And either way, it's not going bad. Let's have a look at our grading. 22% still. 10% paroled early. Punishment is up. Reform is okay. Security is going up, which is quite good. There you go, look. It's even gone down again. So 21% while we're looking at it. So 39 prisoners are being released. We are getting some amount of money. 2,394 generic units of currency / generic credits. 4 grand and a bit change in the bank. And the main issue that we have is that, well, not the main issue, but an issue is that isn't powered up, which I'm going to hopefully do now. We need to receive some more prisoners, so let's go to our brick wall, and then we're going to add this dormitory in the centre. And I don't really have a lot of money, so it is going to be pretty much, hang on, oh no, that's fine. Adding large jail doors either side to this, and then putting the bunk beds in. How have we got that? 2, 3, right. One, 2, 3, and then boom. And then it's a gap of 2. Okay. 2. There's another OD. 1, 2. Don't have enough money. Is it almond? Store prisoner in medical bed, apparently. I bet it's almond. Oh no, don't think it is. Find out in a sec, won't we? It is Lauren Mitchell, sentenced to 10 years for robbery. We've got a lot of drug problems, and that's because of the stuff can be flung over the wall. Let's have a quick look at our intelligence, gangs. 2, 2, and 1 still. Haven't had any increase in that, which is okay. Right. So it's currently free time. We haven't done shakedown in a while, so I think it's time we did. I'll wait until it's... Actually, I'm just going to do it now. We probably do need another armed guard patrolling, because obviously we're going to do the armed guard patrolling around up the top here. Looks like we're searching a lot of prisoners, finding a lot of drugs and a lot of tools. I don't know where they're getting the tools from. I assume most of this is getting flung over the wall. Let's go to intelligence. Last 24 hours here. So cell phones has been flung over the wall. All that's been thrown. The cell phone. There's been scissors that have been thrown over the wall. Medicine has been smuggled in. Screwdriver thrown over the wall. Again, more cell phones got smuggled in, traded, hidden, traded, and flung in over there. Yep, and pretty much, yeah, thrown in again on the left-hand side. Pretty much, 80% of this stuff has been flung in over the wall, which I can't really do anything about, to be honest with you. Anyway, so inmate nutritional research is on the go, 43% there, so we've got a couple more days to sort that out. Let's just have a quick look at our needs, which we haven't checked in a while. This is one of the things that, it's weird. I tend to use this danger level to see, where prisons are, but because I've got the armed guards in here, you don't really need, it sounds a bit iffy, but you don't really need to worry too much about the prisoner's needs because of the suppression effect. Because of how powerful the suppression effect is. Let me just got some potential CIs here. Because of this suppression effect, you can happily just sort of go, yeah, there's going to be some losses in there, whatever. We don't really care. There's needs for these, drugs and alcohol, blah, blah. As long as you're meeting the very basic needs and you've got suppression in effect, there's no real issue. You can just go, yeah, cool, it works. Which is an interesting one. Anyway, looks like these cells are getting sorted. Obviously, this is going to be our death row, and in fact, we will be getting death row prisoners in but a moment. So we've still got our normal security opened up. Death row is opened up as well. Just forcing these open and closed. And what I might do is in death row, actually we do need to go to staff and then to armed guard. We're going to hire none more because it's already maxed out. So let's get some guard lockers. Let's get another 3 in there. And then we're going to hire some more guards. So there's another prisoner, almost certainly, yeah, Lily Maywood, prison number 327787. Sentenced 10 years, multiple crimes including aggravated assault, and grievous bodily harm, and also smuggling stuff in. So search prisoner. There's Candice Lee. We're going to search prisoner. In fact, you are the... I'm sure she's the same person that works in the shop. Miss Lee, what have you got? Apparently been slammed into a wall and then pushed through the other side. A cell phone. Okay, yeah. Cell phone's been smuggled in. So, we now have, I think... We got the armory sorted. Yes, they've added more stuff. So staff, armed guards, we're going to hire 1 more, and then we're going to go to deployment, and then armed patrols. I'm going to set up an armed patrol like so, like that, and we're going to set up a normal guard patrol as well. There we are. And could have guard in there as well, just to keep an eye on everything here. This is obviously very, very... We need to keep this very, very secure. Actually, now that I think about it, there we go. So this is Alice Miller, our first death row female prisoner, sentenced to 25 years. Oh, by the way, prison number 571736, sentenced to 25 years for multiple crimes including murder, rape, and aggravated assault. She's got an ex-husband, a daughter, 2 daughters, 2 sons, and a father. Murder, rape, aggravated assault, and rape, and her plea, all of that was not guilty. Likelihood of clemency is actually 48%, so 50-50 chance of whether or not her sentence will be reduced to just life imprisonment. But that's something we do need to worry about. What I'm going to actually do is get rid of that, and actually no, I want to put that back in there, but I don't need a guard patrol. If we've got a guard there and an armed guard there, we should be fine. Let's go for our reports. And we need to go to our programs. We need to go down to the bottom. Death row appeal. We'll start one of them. All rooms are booked, so I'm going to get rid of one of that. I don't need to edit the schedule. We need to reschedule. There we go. So we now have a death row appeal. So we've got a death row appeal in there. In fact, what I'll do, just for security, well, just for future needs, I'm going to get rid of a couple of these parole hearings because we've got so many. Right. So, 11 grand. Because obviously we get a fair amount of money for receiving them prisoners, the death row prisoner. We need to put toilets on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bunk beds. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And then we need to make that a dormitory. Okay. And then we need to go to staff. 2 more armed guards. 2 more guards. And then we need to go to deployment, guard patrols, check the guard patrols. It is pretty much just... I think it's that, but I can't say for sure because I don't know where... all of the planning is, so we'll see when they start walking. It's about right. I think it'll be fine. We'll have a quick look. So there's the edge of the wall on that tile there. And then if I go to deployment, it's a little bit shy. A little bit shy. There we go. Still not got no power on this right hand side, which is annoying. That'll power the feckin' thing up. Right, so I think we're going to leave it there because we have progressed quite nicely and we are doing well. Total of 73 prisoners out of 118. Obviously, we've just got a lot of that from this corner. Next episode, we need to plumb these toilets in. We need to expand that area. Obviously, we've got death row, so we need to keep an eye on that. We need to start putting some more flooring in. We need to alter our security. We need to get this centre bit sorted. There's food all over the place and food trays and such. Get this canteen all up and running because it's, well, it is up and running, but it's only got half of the required tables and chairs, or planned tables and benches. So once that's all sorted, we will probably be another couple of episodes down the line. But either way, comments in the comments. As always, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.